evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Mike Stark, and in today's video, I'll be going over my top 10 best body horror films of all time. Starting off with number 10, being the obscure David Lynch, rest in peace, film, his first film that he ever made, from 1977. This is the Criterion release of none other than the one, the only, Eraserhead. Yes, this is quite an obscure, strange, peculiar film about this guy that has to take care of this creature, this mutant baby. It's a weird film, it's hard to explain. Just such a great film. And it's sad that David Lynch has, yes, recently passed away. This is definitely a hugely underrated David Lynch film, all in black and white. This is definitely a film that everyone out there should watch. Okay, and boom! Moving on to number 9. This is none other than the cult classic body horror film from 1977, made by Jeff Lieberman. This is none other than the film starring Zalman King, rest in peace, and that film is Blue Sunshine. Now, this is the German media book release. I've got the American release by Synapse Films, the limited edition. I'll be doing a review of that on my channel pretty soon. But if you haven't seen this movie, check it out. This is a highly underrated movie about these drugs called Blue Sunshine that have a delayed effect by 30 years. And whoever took them 30 years prior to the present day in this movie have this adverse reaction where they lose all their hair, go crazy. When it opens up with all these people at this house party, when someone goes nuts and tries to kill everyone there. Highly recommend this movie. All right, next film is none other than the French film, the 2008 original film by Pascal Laugier, and that movie is none other than body horror film Martyrs. This is just a gnarly, gory movie that everybody out there should check out. I've quoted this movie many times on my channel. Such a great film with such great cinematography and just memorable scenes in this movie that got me out of some dark places. Definitely, this film is about survival, about torture, about these two girls that take revenge on their abusers. They were abused as kids and they go back to the residence where they were abused, kill the family, and then, yeah, all hell breaks loose. But check it out, the original. The Americans made a remake of this, but nowhere near as good as this one. Check it out. All right, next title is none other than the 1956 original black and white sci-fi body horror film, and that is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Such a good movie with a very, very short runtime of 80 minutes. This film is definitely the best Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They have remade this film countless times, but I love this version the best. Pretty much it's about this doctor who is seeing his patient, and their patients are telling him that their families are not who they seem to be, and all this weird stuff is going on. Then you later find out that these space pods from outer space take over the human bodies and replicate their bodies and are replicas of the humans. But yeah, great film, great transfer, what can I say? Moving on to the next title, and that is number 6. This is the Clive Barker classic film from 1987, one of the goriest films I've ever seen. This is definitely my favorite horror film of all time, tied with A Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2. And this is none other than Clive Barker's Hellraiser, the original, the first Hellraiser film. What a great movie. Just, yeah, Gorefest. What can I say? Clive Barker, Doug Bradley, just such a phenomenal, he did such a phenomenal job as Pinhead. And he's only featured in this movie for 5-10 minutes. He's definitely not the main antagonist in this movie. It is Uncle Frank. Yeah, but this film, you all know what Hellraiser is about. I'm not going to go over it. Okay, moving on to the next title, which is number 5. This is none other than the gory film by Tom Six and Ilona Six, the first sequence from 2009. And that is the Human Centipede, the gory film that I think everyone out there has seen if you're a fan of horror movies. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out. This is just definitely one of the best body horror films I've ever seen. This edition comes with all 3 of the movies. The second and third are terrible. The first one is the only one you should watch. What can I say? A film about a deranged doctor that sews the arse to someone's mouth and then someone's mouth to someone's ass. Hence the title, The Human Centipede, as you can see there. Alright, moving on to number 4. This is none other than the 2023 horror film by Brandon Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's son. He did an exceptional job with this movie. This film stars Mia Goth and Bill Skarsgård. I think it's Bill Skarsgård. No, Alexander Skarsgård. That was his brother. But anyways, this film has recently been added to Netflix. So if you want to watch it on Netflix, it's available now for streaming. But yeah, such a gory, unusual film. And that is Infinity Pool. Yes, Infinity Pool. Where these tourists are holidaying in this fictional country called Lea La Tolka, something like that. I forgot the name, but anyways, this couple meet another couple, then they accidentally run over this farmer in the middle of the night, and then they hide it, but then they later get caught for it. And there is this deal, if you pay this money, you can clone the body of the person who did the crime, which is Alexander Skarsgård, and then anyway, someone from the village kills the replica of Alexander Skarsgård, but just a weird movie. Anyways, now on to number 3. This is none other than the Brian Usna classic, messed up, just one of a kind, one of my favorite films. And if you don't know who Brian Usna is, he made the Reanimator movies. This is just such a great film that everybody out there should check out from 1989. Not many people have seen this movie. This one definitely deserves a 4K release. This is definitely one of my favorite horror films of all time, and that is Society. Yes, Society. This here is a messed up movie about this kid named Billy who finds out his parents aren't all they seem to be. They're a part of this society that have these big orgies. They're aliens and they kind of morph their bodies. Just a really cool but weird film. What can I say? Check out Brian Usna Society. Highly recommend that one. Now this is number 2. I'm not going to go over this one because I did an in-depth review. It's on my channel. I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch this title. But this is the 2024 Coralie Farragut film. Just one of a kind, and this has been nominated for various Oscars. And this is none other than the film starring Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, and that is The Substance. Very just this film, favorite film of 2024. Enough said. Okay, boom, and on to number 1. This is definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite, body horror / horror film of all time. This came out during the year of 2022 by Alex Garland, who made a lot of great films, Ex Machina and Civil War. This is a lesser known horror film that more people out there should watch. This is definitely what a feminist would see as a great horror film. And this is none other than the British horror film Men. Yes, Men. This is the German steelbook 4K Ultra HD release of just a great horror film about a grieving woman that goes to stay at this country cottage in England when all these just strange occurrences start to happen to her, and all these guys, perverted guys I should say, are just trying to go to bed with her. And this is just highly underrated, and if you haven't seen this movie, you will not be disappointed. I love how weird this is. I love how this movie ends, and it's just, it's just, yeah, I can't even explain this film. It's just watch it. But anyways, that's it for my top 10 body horror films of all time. Now, if you've got any questions about any of these titles, message me down below. I want to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you all for watching. I'm Mike Stuff. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you all in my next video. But don't forget to check out my previous video. I'll put a link in the description to where you can watch it. But I'm out of here, everyone. I'll catch you all in my next video. But until then, have a good night.